before you start.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Vodumi.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
All right, it is the start of a new day and we are so glad to have you on the show today. We will kick off with today's newspaper review before diving into our main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment with us. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So joining us today to share the matters at hand is Barrister Evans Ufeli. He's a barrister and a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much, sir.
And he joins us from Toronto in Canada. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. We truly do appreciate your time. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's kickstart today with the first daily on our desk. It's coming from the Guardian newspaper for today. Litany of interesting stories. But the big one we have, relief in Cotonou as a NAF. Joint force repel coup plotters in Benin Republic.
Okay, so on the top strip we have federal government secured release of 100 abducted Niger school children.
And also we have Benue farmers lament decry crashing food prices.
We also have concerns over fiscal governance as 2026 budget misses timeline.
And also CAC, that is the Corporate Affairs Commission, to shut illegal POS operators. Others, of course, ask for registration by January 1st, 2026.
Okay, below that we have CAC to shut illegal POS operators. Others, registration by January 1.
And also teledensity hits 81% as Nigerians consume 1.23 million terabytes, that is, of data amid high cost. So, Barrister, I'd love us to start with a big story around the West African sphere, and that is on the coup that just happened, was foiled in Benin. What's your take on this? Because if you look at the reasons why the coupists actually, did what they had to do, it's same as Nigeria. They complained that jihadists from the northern part of Benin are terrorizing the country, and they talked about political instability with respect to the economy not doing well, and so many other stories that all just looks like that of the Nigerian case. So what's your take on the coup in Benin and what that means for democratic decline in West Africa?
Africa have one particular problem, just one problem, and that's the problem of leadership, which invariably backs poverty. So lack of leadership is the cause, then the effect is widespread poverty. Okay, because there's such a thing as cause and effect, but the cause comes before the effect. Okay, so the cause of leadership failure, okay, is what has started the problem in Africa, which is poverty related. Look at the whole of West Africa, look at the whole of North Africa, look at the whole of southern part of Africa. Which part of Africa is actually doing well in the whole scheme of things? Maybe two countries in East Africa and some countries in Southern Africa, Botswana and the likes. Those are the only countries doing well in Africa. Every other country in Africa isn't doing well. Ghana is not doing well. Don't just forget about it. Okay? They are all not doing well because of the kind of leadership that Africa has produced over time. It's a leadership that lacks empathy. Leadership that is inconsiderate, leadership that is orchestrated to separatism. Okay, I wasn't surprised when the wing of the military raised that issue, and the coup had almost succeeded before they called for help, precision and all that from all over. Even Nigerian fighter jets had to go down, and the rest of that. So. You see, this repelling military from taking over and all that will not solve the problem. Okay? What will solve the problem is when democracy take its root, take the proper root and dimension in Africa, where countries in Africa, the leaders in Africa are able to manage the resources. Africa is the only destination where you now have mineral resources, natural resources. Every other destination have been exploited to a point of degradation. But in Africa, we still have everything intact. We have the wealth of this world is laid down in Africa. DRC Congo, for example, is the richest spot in the world, but it's a devastating country. Somalia has so many mineral resources. It's devastated. Okay? Nigeria is the mother of resources. Nigeria is the mother of resources. See what Nigeria has become. Okay? So is that painful? It's painful to the point where you ask yourself, what exactly is the problem? Leadership. And it was as a result of leadership failure that led to insurgency. Okay? Because these people hide under religious cloud. But really, what they are addressing is economic. Because, okay, look at what they do. They kidnap school children. Government go to pay ransom and then come out to lie to the people. Okay? So if it's not economic, why are they asking for ransom? Are they different from the kidnappers that are within Delta, Edo, Kogi? The only difference is that the kidnappers don't have explosives. They are not carrying rocket launchers. And they're not killing indiscriminately. They're only holding on to their targets and asking for ransom. That's the only difference between them and the insurgents. The insurgents have assaulted rifles. They have rocket launchers. They have all sorts. Assaulting communities, assaulting people, and doing all sorts. So when you have a continent that has failed in leadership, a continent that its institutions have failed, the African Union, ECOWAS, and the rest of that have all failed, the resultant effect is you have rebel, you have banditry, you have insecurity, and that's exactly what we are going through. So when you look at the case of a Benin Republic, it's nothing different. Okay, it's nothing different from what is happening. That of Nigeria, the reason the military hadn't struck in Nigeria, even though there was a rumor not too long ago, is because the military have been at the center of the fight against insurgency, and so much money is being pumped to them to do that. That is the only thing that have kept this democracy, you see. Not like the leaders in the democratic sector are doing anything extraordinary.
Okay.
To say the least, they have worsened the livelihood of Nigerians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between when Buhari was in office and now, you see how people's lives are dramatically changed. It's leadership.
Beautiful.
Okay. So what does this mean for Benin's political future? With all this coup that happened, what does the future hold for them?
It calls for sober reflection. I mean, the current president was billed to leave office in April next year.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And the Benin Constitution was also amended, okay, to reflect a new kind of regime. Okay? So it calls for sober reflection for them to look back, okay, go back to the drawing board and reassess their democratic dispensation. Whether truly democracy is doing well. If it's not doing well, it's a window for them to put their house in order. They are hereby reminded that the military still have the capacity. You understand? The capacity they had in the 80s and the early 90s to take over governance if the civilians are not doing it the right way. They still have that capacity. So this is a call to duty, so that they will know that when you have the mandate of the people to perform, you have just one assignment, and that is to perform. Okay? You can't be a leader of a country, a leader of a state, a region, or a province, and there's insecurity littered everywhere. Okay, there's a lot of insurgency activities, and banditry activities going on in the Republic as we speak. Okay, a lot of it. So crime is on a high rate. Okay, poverty is widespread. Public health care is nothing to write home about. It's just a prototype of Nigeria. Okay, and that cuts across countries in Africa, except for the likes of Botswana and Tanzania, and maybe Kenya, and the other country, you know. Every other place in Africa is the likes of Burundi and the rest of that, Uganda and all those ones are all enmeshed in one story, lack of leadership and poverty.
Very so sad.
So until they deal with that, I mean, Africa is not really doing well at all.
Very well. So sad. And at the same time, the African Union, that is the AU and the ECOWAS, you know, see it as spectators. They are supposed to be the organization to check all of these things. But of course, they sit down and see constitutions changed, the rule of law abused, and the after effect of some of these things that we see today. But Patricia, let's get to the Daily Trust newspaper and straight to our talking point for today. Genocide. U.S. lawmakers visit Nigeria on fact-finding a mission. What do you think would change with this visit, possibly?
Yes, the lawmakers want to get a first-hand knowledge of what is going on. The visit is to reassess the situation and come up with the best approach to fighting insurgency in Nigeria. That's exactly what they are doing. And I think it's a good one that they are not just, you know, observing from the press or from reports. They are on ground to assess the situation and ask the right and vital questions. Okay? So I believe that their visit will add to the information they already have. And that will help them to take informed decision on the issue, the best decision possible on the issue that will be cost effective, that will address the issue effectively, and that will move this issue of insecurity away from Nigeria. I think it's a good one, and I commend their effort for doing that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, I just sincerely hope it won't be another case of the Boris Johnson that we had discussed a couple of days back, where he would say he is safe right now in Nigeria, and hopefully we won't see that for the lawmakers from America.
Well, they all know. I mean, it's a known fact that there's insecurity in Nigeria. If they are safe, they're only safe to the extent that they are not taken to the flashpoints of these activities. And they know that. So, Boris Johnson issue, just leave Boris Johnson issue. That one is politics. That one is international politics. So, this is much more of a critical assignment. Boris Johnson only came to deliver his speech, you know, on an economic summit. This one is a fact-finding mission, more like visiting the locus in quo, you know, when you visit the scene of crime, to ascertain the level of damage and to profile the right solution to, you know, to the problem under reference.
Barrister, I wanted to ask you what you thought about Bishop Coker's change in narrative. The Bishop Coker we used to know was very, you know, straight to the point, was a sharpshooter when it comes to issues like this, especially during the days of Muhammad Buhari. And right now he seems not to be speaking what Nigerians want to hear. Do you think that his statement might, in one way or another, influence the fact-finding mission of the lawmakers coming from America?
He's not the governor of any state. He's not a minister. As far as I'm concerned, he's a non-state actor. It's not different. Bishop Coker is not different from Gumi. and some other like Reno Mokri. Just that Reverend Coker have not degenerated. Have not degenerated yet to the level of Reno Mokri and Femi Fani Kayode. It's still a little bit put together, depending how long time will permit that. But I see him going the way of Reno Mokri and Daniel Bola and the rest of that, where analysis will become based on what you can eat, or what you are told to say, or what you are asked to do, or just to make the president feel good, or to be in his good book to have an appointment or something like that. Yeah. There are many analysts who do that, and they do that shamefully. Throw caution to the wind, repress their conscience, and just speak to make people feel good. Good luck to him in that pursuit, but Nigerians know the truth, no matter who is involved. Nigerians know the truth, and they will always stick to the truth until we're able to solve our problems.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, so let's get to the Punch newspaper.
Okay, should we still do daily just the Punch? Okay, let's take the Punch newspaper. Then the big story there, we have Tinubu, Macron, old talks as U.S. fact finders arrive. Yeah. Well, so Barrister, because even when I saw this headline, I'm like, okay, I just, you know, we've been having this back and forth situation of U.S. coming in here, coming to Nigeria and doing what, you know. So for the fact that our president now have this talk with Emmanuel Macron, I just hope what he really wants to do in Nigeria, I just hope the collaboration really works out, even if the U.S. president really wants to come in and do his thing. So, Barrister, please, I would want to ask this: what do you think about Emmanuel Macron and President Tinubu coming together to have this talk? You know, probably bringing this peace. Do you think they are going to have this peace talk that would really bring that stability we want in Nigeria?
Emmanuel Macron and the president, they've always been together. I don't know what they are talking all the time. They've always been together, and and insecurity has persisted. It's not a new thing. It shouldn't even make. I'm surprised at Punch. Is that Punch? Yes, it's Punch, right? Punch, that made that the headline. Yes. What exactly are they proving? I mean, the president's second home is France. Okay. Has always been with I've always been a Macron, who used to be even a Lagos boy. He worked in the embassy when he was in his 30s. When he was much younger, he worked in the France embassy to Nigeria. So I've known Nigeria for a very long time. Wow. He's a friend of Nigeria, and the president has always been with him since he got into office and the rest of that. So about the peace talk, how that whatever they are going to say will influence. I am much more particular about the American visitation, the Congress visitation, Parliament